He's got it, wants to throw. Wentz looks, pressure comes. Wentz hit, sack, back inside the 20. Aiden Hutchinson, that's number 2.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Big D episode with your boys, Ben and Caleb. Lots of Detroit sports to cover. It's been a little bit since we've done a long video. Ben, how are we feeling, bro?
Dude, I'm feeling good. Recorded an episode earlier for our new Motown Madness channel.
Yes, sir.
Good. That's where you're going to get the deep dives into different teams, the trivia. The channel will be linked down below for that one. And also, if you go to the channel page on our Big D podcast, you can find it there too. So, feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Feeling W. If you see me leaning back and forth a lot, it's because I got a new chair for Christmas. So I'm just testing her out, giving her a little test drive, making sure she's got the hydraulics and everything.
There you go, bud. Oh, yeah, bud.
You might have to carry this pod because I'm going to be doing this all. Anyway, enough shenanigans. We were supposed to record probably 2 hours ago, but we've just been not focused. And
2 hours ago, bro, we were supposed to record at like 10 a.m. this morning. What you mean?
Oh, that's facts. That's facts, isn't it?
We were supposed to record like 12 hours ago, but it's fine. Living life.
Hey, life's too short to bet the under.
A little bit, man. Gotta live a little bit. Will you take us?
Life's too short to check down.
You know how we're in shambles right now? You gotta take us into a team that's in shambles.
Dude, I feel like we're not in shambles as much as the Pistons are right now, but it's close.
It's not close. Let's be so for real.
All right, that's the real reason I've been putting this off recording, because I just don't want to talk about them, because it just makes me upset. It raises my blood pressure. It makes my blood boil. It makes my face turn red. It ruins my day.
You know what else does that? When you mention the name Max Clark.
Oh, God. Bro, I don't know if I've already talked about this, but I think it was MLB came out, or ESPN came out with their top prospects of 2024, and my man Max Clark was ahead of Walker Jenkins, and I immediately unfollowed ESPN. That shit is not real. Can we look at just some numbers, please? Can we not look at TikTok followers and look at other numbers? I know Max Clark probably has more TikTok followers.
Let's move on to the Pistons.
Dude, honestly, I'd rather talk about Max Clark, bro. What a demon!
No,
straight out of Indiana.
We need to get on some track. We need to talk about some Pistons, because I don't know why. Just to make myself more depressed.
As a reward for talking about the Pistons, can we then talk about the Lions?
Yes.
W.
Yes.
All right. So on Monday night, the Pistons took the court against the Washington Wizards, their newly appointed trade buddy. The worst of the worst, the 14th and the 15th seed in the East, are making trades with each other. Blockbuster moves. We already reacted to that. Check out our TikTok and Instagram reels for that. Anyways, Max Clark. No, sorry. On Monday against the Wizards, the Pistons actually won. Number 4 on the year.
They did. We're moving, bro. We're moving. We're doing good. Is that 2 wins?
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1 net.
No,
dude,
we won the
that's
one
facts.
in December. No, it's only
yeah. You're right.
We won the one in December.
So we have 0 in November, 1 in December. We got to get 1 more in January, bro.
Dude, let's go 2-0-1-2, and then we'll go back to 0.
Jesus. God. If you look at our next opponents, though, it ain't looking too hot.
It ain't looking good.
Anyways.
No, we're winning next game.
Yeah, so the Pistons actually won in the absence of Cade Cunningham, Bojan Bogdanovic, Isaiah Livers, and Marvin Bagley. Those last two because they got traded and were nowhere to be found. Like I said, we already did our initial thoughts on the trade, but despite the fact that Pistons actually got the dub versus the Wizards, which was hilarious. I didn't actually watch this game because I was coaching basketball at the time. I was just watching the score and I was just seeing us like absolutely dominate this game, and like we just kept the lead or held it and just kind of built it. The funniest part though was Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma got so frustrated in the game, got a technical foul, reacted, got a second tech, got ejected. Okay. You wouldn't think twice of it. But the funny part is, back in December, in the depths of the deep depths of our losing streak, right? When we were beating the Celtics in the largest point spread of the season, we were beating them. I was cheering, happy, watching that game, and we blew it. Just like we blow a lot of games.
Yeah.
But Kyle Kuzma tweeted at the end of that game, and I quote, "At this point, it's like, don't be that team." End quote. That was following the loss again, or amidst the streak against the Celtics. Sports media kind of took that quote for a ride Monday night and was flaming Kyle Kuzma for saying that. And I was dying. Like every single post was Kyle Kuzma's like reposted tweet, and it was like, oh my gosh,
it was so good. It was so good, dude.
Got that nice Pistons, dude. Honestly, it does make headlines when the Pistons win,
dude. We make headlines. No, when we're winning a game, it makes headlines because the team that we're playing should not be losing.
That's facts.
But no, the greatest thing ever was Kyle Kuzma, because he was the only player that tweeted anything about it, pretty much. And he's the one that just gets absolutely buried.
Yeah.
I mean, he still played 33 minutes. He still scored 21 points.
Yes, he did.
8 rebounds. But, bro, getting ejected and losing the game after you said don't be that team. It's just great. Casual Alec Burke 34-point night. That's normal. Alec Burks, 34 points.
That's
just
not real. That's not real.
Might be the most normal thing we see from now on. I don't like.
Honestly, yeah, because who else is going to score?
Exactly.
I will tell you who else is going to score, because Wednesday the Pistons took on the Minnesota Timberwolves at home again. It was a very frustrating game to watch because we looked like we were going to hang with them. Then they'd 16-point lead they'd have. Then we'd cut it close. Then they go on another run. Then they cut it close with like 5 or 6 minutes left. Then they just went on a run. It was so frustrating to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Ivey, though, shout out my boy, because he did have 32 points in that game on 36 minutes played. He played the most out of anybody on the team, which is so not Monty Williams of the Pistons to do.
No.
But shout out Jaden Ivey for being a dog.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
it's been so good of late.
He's been phenomenal. He just hustles more than anybody else. He was clamping Ant too. Like, I know Ant had a really good game still, but like, bro held Ant to 27. Like, that's a kind of a W.
Jaden Ivey wasn't the one on Anthony Edwards, if you watch.
Sorry, towards the end of the game, he was a little bit. Mm-hmm. I know they would try to switch off screens and stuff.
You know who was the main one?
But wasn't Killian on him most of the game?
Another guy who I hate to admit it, but who's playing decent recently is Killian Hayes.
Hayes. The thing is we talked about this. Like I said, like, okay, when Cade got hurt, I was like, okay, Killian's gonna get the start. This could be the opportunity for him to get into that role where he's predominantly a pass-first point guard. We all know he can't shoot. We've all watched it. We've all seen him try to pull it from 12 feet and miss by 12.
He was 4 for 4 the other night.
That's what I'm saying. Is he's forcing less shots in the increased minutes, and he's looking like a solid backup option.
Yeah, no, he had. I think he's probably averaging 6 assists since Cade has been out. He's averaging 6 assists, and he's only averaging like 1 turnover, which is huge to see Killian Hayes doing, because if you know anything, 1, about this podcast, and 2, about Killian Hayes, he's atrocious. It makes my eyes bleed when I watch this man play. Sorry.
Facts.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, against the Timberwolves, he had 1 rebound and 8 assists to go along with 8 points. Just a solid game from a pass-first point guard. That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
And I expect him to, when that role of his gets depleted again when Cade comes back, which is shortly, he will kind of just not go back to his former self, come back in and distribute to guys like Marcus Sasser, to guys like Jaden Ivey to put up some shots. But enough praise for this team.
Wait, one more.
Go ahead.
One more guy. Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren is a double machine out here. Literally every single game. I swear this man, just double machine. He had 20 points and 19 boards against the Wizards. Against the Timberwolves, I think it was like 20. No. I think, it was like 20 and 10 or 20 and 11.
Against what team?
There's been Timberwolves.
16 points, 11 rebounds.
16. I thought he scored a little bit more. But
Wizards, 20 points, 19 rebounds.
Wizards was 20-19. 20 points, 19 rebounds. Yeah. So, going on, I think since he came back from his injury, there's been 2 games where he did not get a double-double. 2 or 3 games where he did not get a double-double. This man has been playing incredible. I really defensively, he's good. There's a couple things I have defensively, but mainly it's like help defense in the paint between him and Isaiah Stewart. I'd love to see more help defense between the two, because my God, I swear we just get scored on the paint 70 points per game.
Oh, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on.
Okay, but that's really, I just wanted to shout out Jalen Duren because he's been a dog this year.
Shout out Jalen Duren in the statistical category for looking like a beast. However, if you watch the game, it's not always true. But I think it has a lot to do with coaching. So, watching this Timberwolves game, this Pistons Timberwolves game, I've come to the final conclusion of something. I've pretty much I think in general, have been pretty supportive of the Pistons coaching staff and understand that they're not in the best spot. The team is not the best, but there's no way this team is 4 wins good. Like, they're better than that. They're a young team. They should be more explosive. They should be whatever. And I've been genuinely encouraging of them and hopeful. And I think I could say the same about you as well. But after watching that game Wednesday night, I kind of just changed my perspective. In like the coaching aspect, is we just keep saying the same mistakes over and over again. And maybe the coach is bringing it up. Maybe it's the coaching staff that is addressing it and the players just aren't performing, which is an option, which is possible, but that I don't know. But I personally have some like film breakdown background and like coaching experience, college level, high school level, all the above. And when I watch this Timberwolves game back, and other games in the past, it's just the same awful defense every single possession. Like, if you look at how we defend in general, number one, but number two, against the team's best players. Hey, how about this? How about a newsflash? Everyone in the NBA is good. You have to guard them. It's not like high school ball anymore. You can just key on the best player. No, everyone in the NBA is good and can score. And last night, Wednesday night, was some of the worst defense, worst communication, worse, like, just in general floor management I think I've ever seen on the defensive side of the ball. Like, you can't let these star players like Anthony Edwards, like Giannis, get downhill. You have to stop them at the 3-point line. I know that Giannis isn't the biggest shooting threat. I know that Ant isn't necessarily the biggest shooting threat, even though he can pull it. But what happens is you lay off screens. Duran doesn't hedge the screen. He sits back in the paint, waiting for Ant to put a sports number one clip on his head like a freaking video game over his head, bro. Like, we're in the bro's looking like 2016 Aaron Gordon dunk contest on us because we're sitting back off screens. And then our on-ball defense is even worse. Like, Isaiah Stewart is sitting 6 feet off of, I don't even know this guy's name. Jaden McDaniels had 23 points against us? Like, what are we doing, guys?
Dog.
I know he's a shooter, but, like, if he's a shooter, you have to guard him.
Yeah, no, honestly.
It's bad.
It was...
Alec Burks is bad at defense. Kevin Knox is absolutely atrocious at defense. Yeah, and this whole team just, they need a kick in the butt.
Dude, yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I was talking to my brother and one of his friends about it, and it was even about, like, the Pistons. It was about, it got to the Pistons. One of them brought up, he goes, do you think Michigan could beat the worst NFL team this year? And I go, no. There's no way that Michigan is getting anywhere close, in my opinion, to the best NFL team this year. I understand we have 19 players, 19 of our starters going into the draft and will be most likely be in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But you got to think, an NFL team, or going back to the NBA, is comprised of all people that made it out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that doesn't happen much. But go and look at the Pistons. They go, what about the best basketball team versus the Pistons? And I go, no. Still no. But I just, like, this team, there's sometimes where I think the best college team could almost beat this team. Or the best G League team could beat this team. Because how atrociously bad we are on defense. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so bad.
We can't defend, bro. Like, even in transition, in sets, in simple actions, simple dribble handoffs, simple down screens, simple fist actions. Like, we can't defend anything.
Mm-mm.
And I was talking to another coach about the Pistons the other day, and we were talking about, like, why is this team so undisciplined? Well, you instinctively think, oh, they're young. Well, they are, but Bogdanovich is 34, Burks is 32, Joe Harris is 32. We just got 2 more veterans. I know that they haven't played at all, but we got 2 more in Muscala and in Gallinari. But, like, so this team isn't super young. Like, there's a big gap. There's, like, you're either 24 or younger, or you're 30 and over. I understand that.
Yeah.
But another thing that I'm thinking of is, who are, like, the best coaches in college basketball? Like, who have been the best coaches in college basketball that teach, this defensive pressure and these keys to playing a good off-ball defense? It's guys like, Bill Self and Tom Izzo and, Coach K before I retired and stuff like that. It's these guys that have always been, active in our keys to the, NCAA world. We don't have...
This man just said Tom Izzo like he's a good basketball coach.
Dude, he's like one of the best of all time. You can't even cap. You can't even cap.
Not even top.
Anyways, Tom, John Beeline, dog.
Juwan Howard, dog.
No, I'm saying that's kind of what I'm getting at. As we got like a lot of these coaches in the league that don't really teach that stuff anymore. And if you, this is a far jumped conclusion that I've come to. If you look at our roster and where it's from, like where they come from in like pre NBA, there is not like a single like great program on this list. Like Kevin Knox came from Kentucky. That's about it. Like everything else is like mediocre. They have a great year and then terrible year. Not a lot of consistency in like skill here. It's like Jaden Ivey with Purdue. That's like one of them.
Did you just call Purdue mediocre?
Dude,
I just, like at least the last 4 years.
I just fixed that. I just said Purdue is like another one on this list. That's okay.
Sorry.
And you can see Jaden Ivey plays some of the best help defense on the team. And it's not even.
That's true.
But like, here's the thing. Especially now in like the trends of the NBA and like pre-NBA where like college isn't necessarily the best option anymore. Whatever. Like All-Star Thompson came from travel ball and like the G Elite League or I don't even know.
It's called, I think it's the OTE, Overtime Elite
League. Yeah, Overtime Elite. So like, do they really do like? Is there that much like proper defensive coaching in that league? Like, there's no way.
I literally have no idea. I honestly have.
There's no way.
I don't know. I've seen some of the people. Like I've seen some of the scores. I've watched some of the games. They're good. They're very good players. There's good defense in there.
They are. They're streaky.
It's not college. It's not college. I don't believe it is. It's a cool league to watch though.
It's just not the same, man. Like the best teams in the league don't play like what I'm trying to say here. So like the best teams in the league are coached like a college team. Like you look at, the Celtics. They run different defenses. They run an action every single time down the offensive floor. It's a dribble handoff. It's a screen and switch. It's a hippo screen. They run something every possession on the floor, and they're first in the East.
Yep.
Like this is like it all comes down to this idea that super teams don't work because ISO ball doesn't really work anymore. Like people have figured it out. It doesn't really work. In the long term, it doesn't work. Yeah, it can get you a clutch bucket, but
there's one guy that makes me think that, like, not think, but makes me know that statement is so true, and it's Westbrook. Russell Westbrook used to run ISO. Like, he averaged a triple-double, so it wasn't full ISO. But it was ISO, like, because he was getting double-teamed, and that's when he get his assist. He used to run full ISO, like, and it worked so well. Then he started falling off, but it's because these teams started to learn how to guard ISO ball so much better. And that's one guy that made me truly, like, start to think that ISO ball just doesn't work anymore. It's like these teams that have really good passing. I mean, you saw it. This is like before, still before like Russ, but like the Spurs. Like, we used to like start passing the ball around and make fun of it and just be like Spurs ball movement.
Spurs ball movement, like baby. It's a joke, but it's true.
But it's so
they were a dynasty.
Like ISO ball just does not work anymore.
Like, yeah, I mean it can get you a clutch bucket. If you're good enough, it can work. Like, but it's got to come in like certain times. Like it can't be every time on the floor.
Yes.
Like I noticed with Pistons ball, the ball's going to Cade hands almost every time in the second half. It is, and it's just go to work, Cade. And you look at his stats and you're like, wow, he's good. But like overall, we have 4 wins. That's not good. It's not good at all.
No,
And
he's
I
putting
honestly
up
don't
what?
even think our offense is really that much of a problem. It's the defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's
100%.
the lack of
I mean, look at
steals. It's the lack of aggressiveness, lack of intensity.
the Celtics game. The Celtics game is a perfect representation of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
We were up 21 points at one point in this game. 19 points at halftime, or it's 20 points at halftime. Don't remember. Our defense just shit, just like bad in the second half. So bad. And yeah, like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's been rough to watch this team, honestly.
I just hope that like they get like I don't know, a spark. They need something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Gallinari. I can't even say that. I don't even know what to like at this season or at this point in the season. You either chalk it or you just pull your head out of your you know what and start playing some freaking basketball. Watch some stinking 2010 Spurs film. Watch
Real.
some 2023 Celtics film. Like it's not. It drives me
No,
nuts.
it
And
makes
then
me. Yeah.
talking about Monty Williams just also drives me nuts because just because you make it to the finals does not mean you're a good coach. Like, I'm sorry, but he made it to the finals with who on his team? Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. Oh, and practically a head coach in himself, Chris Paul. Like, that doesn't mean you're a good coach, bro. That team had flaws. Obviously, they lost. They got murdered.
Yeah. Bro, it's still so funny to me that one year the Suns, Monty Williams, goes to from no loss November to no win November. It's so bad. I don't even know what to say about this team anymore. It's like it's so hard to watch. It's got to be the coaching. There's got to be one. There's got to be something going on in the locker room. But I don't even know what it is because it looks like all the guys like each other and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something going on between the players and the coach. I really do. I don't think we see Monty Williams next year. There's a chance. Okay,
I don't even know
here's my
we've seen
take.
the rest of the season.
My take right here. This is what the Pistons are doing. Pistons, we're looking at this draft class coming up. They were scouting prospects. They're looking, right? The first thought, right when we started the streak, we lost like 20 in a row. They were looking at it, and then they realized they were looking at the 2023 draft class, and we're like, oh, Victor is not on the board anymore. So then they flip-flopped to the 2024 real quick, right? So then they're looking at it again, and they realized who was on the board. You got Caitlin Clark out of Iowa on the board. And let me tell you, Caitlin Clark will be going number 1 overall to the Detroit Pistons.
Dude, oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna lie. This like college basketball season has been like really sick to watch and like track. But dude, the draft class to come out of this year cannot be any good.
Nah.
Like there are no
who I
stars.
think we could take? It's gonna be Hunter Dickinson. And then I'm gonna have to watch Hunter Dickinson again.
I don't think we need Hunter Dickinson. That's like the last person we need.
We need a forward.
Yeah.
Bad.
We need like a scoring forward. Can we just get Kevin Durant?
Let's just get Giannis.
Yeah, can we just get Giannis, please? Nah, but for real, Pistons, figure it out, man.
The scouts were typing on the computer, and they put 2023 instead of 2024 prospects on their computer. And they just been scouting the entire group of players.
Speaking of Pistons staff, is they just did a video today, posted on TikTok. One of the social media persons she has a twin or whatever, and they were trying to fool the players with like her twin and stuff, and it was pretty funny. And I commented, "This, this is more entertaining than actually watching the games." And I still have to go back to see how well the comment did. I'll have to look, but just it's so true. Like I can't watch this team. My quote of the day. My quote of the day is. I already told you this, but Monty Williams needs Bosley and a new job. Oh, God.
You're making fun of his bald head.
I don't even know if it's like, if he shaves it or if it's actually like bald, but I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, speaking
ask him.
of bad coaching,
When he's working
Yeah,
at
let me check.
McDonald's next week.
I mean, you probably could go ask him. Just go sit anywhere in the Pistons, and he could probably hear you because the stadium's
Yeah,
empty.
I can get a row 3 seat for $20, $25. Jeez,
It's
that's
so
unreal.
ridiculous. Dude, speaking of bad coaching, we're gonna flip to the NFL real quick.
Okay.
Because there's a team I want to talk about that's not the Lions, but if you're a Lions fan, you know. So, Philadelphia Eagles, right? We're sitting there watching the Philadelphia Eagles. Start of the season so well. They lose one game, and they decide to change up their defensive coordinator, right? You know who they change it to? They change it to the absolute GOAT man himself, Matt Patricia. If you know anything about Matt Patricia, the Lions were 9-7.
That was the worst move I've ever seen in my entire life. I want to know whose brain was behind that. Like, I don't know, like, a worse candidate you could have picked.
Dude. So the Lions were 9-7 for like 3 years in a row. Playoff, that was 2014. We made the playoffs, lost to the Cowboys, blah blah blah. Right? We want to be better, and like we did want to be better. So we hired Patriots defensive guru mind Matt Patricia to make our team better. You know what he did? He posted the worst ever winning percentage as a Lions head coach. You know how bad you have to be? You know how bad you have to be to post the worst ever winning percentage over your career as a Lions head coach? A coach went 0-16 for the Lions. Do you know how bad?
I just looked at that move and I was like, what are you doing?
3-13. We go like 4-12. It was horrible.
Here's the thing. The thing is no, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then as soon as the Eagles go and hire him, they win one game the rest of the year and just have an absolute downfall. The team didn't even look like it wanted to play anymore. The Eagles team they forgot how to tackle. They forgot how to play defense.
Their tackling was atrocious.
Their tackling was atrocious.
Oh my gosh.
What you're gonna say. I just had to bring up Matt Patricia because I think it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like you said, it's more of a team culture thing. I don't personally think that their defense was like that much worse or the main problem. Their offense definitely had some issues, especially internally. There was like some AJ Brown drama at the beginning of the season. And then at the end of the season too, like it's just like, I think there's just a lot of immature babies on that team. And you just lost probably your most mature veteran in Jason Kelce, and I don't know where they go from here. I really don't. Obviously they're going to get a new coach. Like they have to get a new coach, like a whole new coaching staff, because what they did was like historically bad.
The players are actually sticking up for Sirianni so much right now.
Well, they have to.
They're saying Sirianni wasn't the problem. They actually want Sirianni back. Like.
If that's what they think, then that's fine.
I've heard rumors though about them wanting a new defensive coordinator.
Good. Send him to the CFL. I don't care. Go to the Dwayne the Rock Johnson's league.
Send him to MSU. They could use him over there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I don't think he wants anything to do with him over there. I don't know where he. Wow, he was bad.
Nah, send him to like
You
Grand
just
Valley.
look.
He might do
You just
something
look
there.
at like. You just Grand Valley. Send him to Delta. You just like look at Dan Campbell and like Matt Patricia side by side, and you just like, what were we thinking? Like, what were we thinking?
Mhm.
But yeah.
Dan Campbell's out there running routes with the players while Matt Patricia sits on his quad.
Yeah.
Homie couldn't even walk.
But then I think of Andy Reid, and I'm like, all right, yep, never mind.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But
Is this an
moving
Eagles
on-
podcast now, or what?
No, we're moving on to the good part about the Lions. Lions,
The Detroit
We've done
Lions.
we have done it.
It's
the
unreal,
greatest
bro.
thing in sports history. I literally started tearing up.
I teared up. I think every Lions fan did.
Dude, every Lions fan teared up. I was watching the game with my dad. It was just me and my dad left in the living room at the end of this game. Like, this was the greatest moment in Lions history. Like, we were both tearing up. We like hugged each other. It was the greatest thing ever. Just like tearing up. I'm tearing up now just talking about it. Jesus Christ. But
Yeah, me too,
Lions-
honestly, dude. Look at my glossy eyes.
there you go. Is that why they're glossy?
Yeah, you know me.
Nah, but moving, like, just Matthew Stafford comes to Detroit. All you heard about Matthew Stafford, Matthew Stafford back in Detroit. Matthew Stafford this, Rams that. Dude, if you would have told me though in this game that we would have scored 3 points in the second half and win this game, I would have told you were the craziest person alive. Literally the craziest person alive.
Yeah,
I
which
thought there was no
that's
way.
an issue in its own, but like, just it's kind of cool to see. But like you said, everyone's like, "Oh, Stafford's coming back. Oh, Stafford's coming back. Oh, Stafford's coming back." How about Jared Goff revenge game against the team that dumped him and didn't want him
How
anymore?
about Josh Reynolds?
Nobody talked about that,
No.
and he had a great game.
Jared Goff and
I
Josh
think-
Reynolds both had great games.
I think we were the only people that even mentioned Josh Reynolds. Like I genuinely like, even in some of the Michigan sports people I follow, they were talking about Jared
None of
Goff, but nobody talked about Josh Reynolds. We were the only ones that
No.
talked about Josh Reynolds.
Yeah. And Jared Goff goes out there and he has one of the best playoff performances by a quarterback. I know his yards weren't up there, but completion percentage wise, there was a stat that comes out. I can't remember what it was, but he was like the only quarterback in playoff history or something like that with over 270 passing yards, 260 passing yards with like an 80%. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I'm like, nobody's talking about this. And
Still getting slept on, dude.
Dan Campbell said it best. After the game, when Dan Campbell was handing out the game balls, he goes up and he hands the game ball to Jared Goff. And he goes, "You're good enough for Detroit." And honestly, like, he is. One, obviously. We won a playoff game. Like, we're in the divisional round. We're doing things.
I'm still giddy, bro.
But two, this Rams team just dumped him. He took him to the Super Bowl, and they're like, "You're not good enough for us." So they brought in Stafford. Obviously, they won their Super Bowl.
And good for them. Good for Stafford, honestly.
Good for them. Good for Stafford. Good for them. But just dumping a quarterback like that after he takes you to the Super Bowl. I know they didn't win, but like, come on, like, oh, it just pissed me off. It made me happy that we have him now, but it just pissed me off that nobody said anything about Goff.
Yeah. Speaking of
God,
Stafford and Goff and everything, the general sports world seems very, very angry at Lions fans for booing Matt Stafford. And I get it on the surface, but I also don't think that you understand. Like, yes, I love Stafford. I will love him the rest of my life. If he beat us by 50, I still would love him. But in this situation, it's almost like a mental thing. Like, you don't know
Yeah.
how hard it is for the Lions fans to boo Stafford, but they're doing it to prove to the Lions roster and team that they believe in them. Like, if like we won by 1 point.
Yes.
If we cheer for Stafford, does that change the outcome of the game? Does that change the attitudes of our players? Like,
exactly.
how upset would you be if you were Jared Goff, who like got some criticism this year for real? He had that stretch of 3 or 4 games where we're like, bring in Hooker, bring in Hendon Hooker, he's the future. And okay, like, I understand that, Goff's probably not the long-term guy. He's getting older and whatever, but he's still our guy. And we're easy to dump him. What if we just like cheered super loud for Stafford when he ran out of the tunnel? How would that make Goff feel? Like, that would make him less wanting to win for this city.
Exactly.
But like, I think that just flipped the switch in him. Like, dude,
oh yeah,
Detroit loves me. Like, I'm here for Detroit. I want to win for Detroit. I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to win because they are showing out for me, and I can't let them down. Like, that was so sick with the Lions fans did. I stand by it. I do.
Oh my god, I stand by everything. If I was at the game, you go in my room over there, I have a Matthew Stafford jersey sitting on my bed right now. I love Stafford. Like, he did great things for the Lions. But in that moment, if I was in that stadium, obviously I'd be wearing the Hutch jersey. I would have booed the shit out of Stafford. I said, for 4 hours, I hate Stafford. For 4 hours, Stafford is like the enemy. I said, no matter what happens, after that 4 hours, I'm still going to love him. He did great things for Detroit. But for 4 hours, you're the enemy. And honestly, worst part about it is not even Matthew Stafford. The worst part about it is having to hear Kelly Stafford, his wife, talk about it.
Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. Oh my gosh. She just doesn't understand, bro. Like,
she came out and said that
you
they
know
were
what?
booing her
I
kids.
honestly, yeah, that was ridiculous. But I honestly, like, I took a step back and I can understand her frustration. She watched her husband give his blood, sweat, and tears for our team, and then we just boo him. Like, I get it, like, on the surface there. Like, I totally understand it. Don't bring your kids into it. Don't bring you into it. It's not about you. It's not about your kids. And understand that
if
this was like a mental block Lions fans had to get past in order to help our team win this game.
Yeah, no. And I'm so happy that we ruined the Matthew Stafford homecoming. And it's not even because we won a playoff game. It's because Kelly Stafford, shut up.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
If this was week 6 and we were 3-2, are we cheering Matt Stafford out of the tunnel?
Yes, 100%. We are cheering
100%. 100% we are.
But in the implication,
in the circumstance,
circumstance, it is playoff football. You have to know that you're backed behind your team. You can't cheer for the other team in playoff football. Like what we were saying earlier. What do you think that's going to do to Goff mentally? What do you think that's going to do to Goff to cheer for the quarterback that's on the team that replaced Jared Goff with that quarterback who they won a Super Bowl with him because they did not believe in Jared Goff? What do you think that will do to Jared Goff mentally?
Yeah.
That game, I think, could have been completely different.
Yeah.
It's mental.
It's not even
mental. And
it's not even just Jared Goff either. Like, you look at our team, and it's so young, so inexperienced, and they're new to this whole NFL thing. They're new to this whole, like, having a diehard fan base thing. What do you think it says to them? Like, if we were to cheer Stafford out of the tunnel. Like, what do you think Jahmyr Gibbs is thinking if we cheer Stafford out of the tunnel? He's probably like, what the hell? What are they?
Why are we cheering on the enemy team? Yeah. Speaking of the fans,
exactly.
Jared Goff on Fox 2 Detroit, he was interviewed by Dan Miller. He was asked if he could hear the fans when he was coming out of the tunnel and, like, when he was put on screen and when he was coming out of the tunnel. He goes, I felt it when I came out on the field. I couldn't hear it in the tunnel, but I felt it when I came out on the field. But that love that I felt last night, that I felt last night, I've
Mm-hmm.
never experienced anything like that before. Just hearing what Lions fan does. If we don't do that, completely different game. Just the love he feels from the fans, which he deserves. He deserves. If you're a Lions fan, and honestly, at one point this year, I was sitting there and I'm like, do we have to replace Goff for next year? Like, do we have to get a quarterback? And at this point, no. At that time, was it during his 3-game stretch? And I was like really pissed off because he looked
Yeah,
like
it happens,
yes.
dude. I mean,
But at this
it's
point,
just what you
no.
do,
He's
man.
coming back next year. Sign him to an extension. Like, yeah. And just
We have to. Yeah, and I'm gonna love it too.
And I'm like, I will love every single minute of it. Like, this just shows how much that this team means to this city and this state.
Yeah.
Like
this.
And sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Oh, in Baker Mayfield's press conference, he was asked about
I was just gonna talk about
fans
that. You're
in
good.
Detroit or something like that. And he goes, I was talking to some Rams players, and they said, this is the loudest I've ever heard. Loudest I've ever loudest thing I've ever heard. And that just shows how dedicated Detroit Lions and how much we need this, man.
So it was the 4th loudest NFL stadium of all time. Behind, I know Arrowhead. I don't remember the other 2 on there.
I think, my God, Minnesota. I think Minnesota was up there, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Minnesota might have been just behind.
Yeah, but anyways, 4th loudest stadium at one time. I think it was 133 decibels, which is the same amount of sound as a jet engine gives off when it takes off.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty sick. I am dying to go to one of these games. We almost got the chance to go this Sunday, but those kind of fell through, which is fine. It's all good. We're not about to drop $2,500 to go to the game.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Maybe one day.
But
maybe with your guys' support someday. And maybe we take one of you with us.
Facts, dude. That'd be so fun. Oh my God, that'd be so sick. But yeah, I mean, I think if you look at all the teams left, right, there is not a team that its fans and city want it more or need it more. There's not a team culturally ecstatic enough to do this. The Bucks just won recently. They have mixed emotions with Baker. Now they kind of don't because Baker's won, and I totally understand that array of emotions, but I just think that this Bucks team's going to get a rude awakening.
God, I hope so.
I think that this is going to be a close game, a close loss potentially if Evans and Godwin start going stupid, or it's just going to be an absolute massacre. And Hutch is finally going to get his buddy James Houston on the other side. Probably. It's likely he's going to play. He's activated.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Aiden Hutchinson, since you brought him up.
Yeah, go ahead.
He is the first player since 1906 to have 2 sacks and 5 QB hits in 3 straight games, including a playoff game.
Crazy, bro.
Insane.
He's just ready to play, bro. Ali McNeil is back, bro. He's been crazy. If he's been playing super well, Brian Branch
CJ in the red zone.
Yes, CJ's been clamping in the red zone. Missed a tackle or 2, but it's all good. It happens. Brian Branch has been given the opportunity to guard a lot of wide receiver ones.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's on them, he has done genuinely a pretty good job. A lot of holding calls, but besides that, he's done a fantastic job.
Kirby Joseph has played good.
Kirby's literally biting kneecaps off, which is not good. But yeah,
Stafford, do you okay? See the Stafford quote.
I
Like,
watched the clip of him saying it in the game. So Stafford
yes, that's
up
what
to
I was talking
Kirby
about. Do you
and
think Kirby Joseph is
said,
that dirty of a
"I
player?
like the way you play, man." He said, "I like the way you play, man, but that was dirty. That play was so dirty, and you know it."
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, it was.
No, I thought he said that was a clean hit, but you're a dirty player. We've seen the tape.
Oh,
We've seen the film.
You're right. Yeah.
That's what it was. Honestly, watching Kirby Joseph, I don't feel like he's
I
that
think
big of a player.
Stafford was
And
just.
oh my God, don't get me started on all these Rams fans saying that they lost because of the refs. One, they jumped offside, which would have gave us points at the end of half, but they called it a goddamn false start on us. That
was
pissed me
terrible.
off because if we would have lost the game, two, the amount of like holding calls between, like, yes, I'm not gonna say Lions played a clean slate of games and we didn't get any flags called on us. No, there should have been a couple penalties. But if you're sitting there acting like you're a Rams fan and you don't think that your team should have been penalized, like holding calls. There was a Jahmyr Gibbs face mask got brought down. None of it was called. Late out of bounds on Jahmyr Gibbs didn't get called.
Yeah, honestly, for sure.
I think the refs did a pretty good job. I'm obviously going to say that, though, because we won.
Yeah.
But, in general, watching other games this year, this was a very good, very well ref game. It was very even on both sides. And as a Detroit fan, I hate hearing stuff about refs.
That never happens.
We've made new rules because of what has happened during games.
Yeah. So another piece of
Plus you got bailed out.
Plus
you got bailed out to make the Super Bowl in 2019 or 2018, whatever it was. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Gosh. All right. Okay. This is what I want to talk about. Another aspect that we haven't really gotten into yet. Before we kind of get into the Bucs game a little bit more, I want to talk about red zone defense. Our red zone defense against the Rams, we held them to 0 touchdowns in the red zone. Correct me if I'm wrong. 0 touchdowns in the red zone. They all ended in field goals.
0-3.
That's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why?
C.J. Garner-Johnson deflecting the ball from Cooper Kupp that one time.
Yeah, but in general, do you know why we're so much better in the red zone?
Oh my God, I saw this because Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton. Well, Jerry Jacobs is out now, but Cam Sutton and Vildor don't have to do anything.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything. They got to cover not that much space.
Yeah, you got our safeties covering the end zone, so we're fine.
Dude, exactly. Our corners are still very bad. Puka Nacua set records. I mean, seriously. What are we doing?
So, one thing I wanted to get into.
I know it's too late to do anything now. And we're doing our best, putting Brian in coverage, Iffy in coverage. Jeez.
And going down here, I said, and I go, yes, Puka did put up a records against us, but we almost expected Puka or Cooper Kupp.
We did.
I honestly expected both of them to do that.
I thought they both would have around 100.
Yes, but we held Cooper Kupp to low yards. Puka obviously went off. One of them you expect to go off because look at our corners. And also, speaking on clutch players, clutch moments, I said C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Michael Badgley, who, let me tell you, has given me a heart attack about 27 times this year, came up with a 54-yard field goal on the first drive of the second half. Yes, I understand.
Kick, man.
First drive of the second half. It was our only points in the second half. Right now, Michael Badgley is the only kicker in the NFL with a field goal percentage that's under 50% on 50-plus yard kicks. He's the only active kicker in the NFL with a field goal percentage of less than 50% on over 50-yard kicks. And he goes in and he drills this 54-yarder. He doesn't hit that, we lose this game. We lose this game by 2 points.
Playoff Badgley, baby.
Obviously, we don't know what happened on the last drive, but looking at the score at that moment,
Yeah.
24-23, we won. We lose that game by 2 points if he doesn't make that. My
True.
God, was I having a heart attack while watching that game.
Oh my gosh. You have to. That's what makes it fun, though, honestly. Like,
Oh, dude.
Man, what a game.
The adrenaline rush from sports.
I'll never forget that game, bro.
Nope. As a Lions fan, never forget that game. Dude, if you would have told me 3 years ago that the Lions would win a playoff game and Michigan would win the national championship in the same season,
Like 3 weeks
I
apart,
wouldn't
2 weeks
believe
apart.
you. 2 weeks apart?
It's crazy.
The Lions
Crazy.
will win a playoff game and Michigan wins a natty? Like, yes. I give it all to the Pistons, though. Going back to the Pistons.
Oh, God.
The Pistons are losing so other teams can succeed in Michigan. That's what they're doing.
That's not how it
The Red Wings
works.
are hot, which we'll get into. Red Wings are hot. Lions win a playoff game.
Dude.
Michigan wins the natty. The Pistons just have to take the fall. They just take the deep dive. Like, we're going for Caitlin Clark, man.
Are we talking Red Wings today?
We are talking Red Wings today.
Oh, crap. We should probably get going then. Let's go Red Wings, and then we'll go back to Lions preview.
Okay. Sounds good to me. It's Red Wings, quick segment. So, I'm talking about the Red Wings. There will be a video posted on...
We're the curse.
This, yeah. We're the curse. We're the curse of this Red Wings
Continue.
team. But there will be a video posted on the Red Wings' first 40 games this season on our second channel called Motown Madness, where you'll find everything else. Talked about that in the beginning. First 40 games, give you a quick recap of the Red Wings. So this is just going to be quick. In January, I believe the Red Wings are 6-1. I know we have one loss. I can't remember if it's 6 wins now or 7 wins now.
You're welcome.
But I believe
You're welcome for that.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're 6-1. We beat a Florida Panthers team, who we haven't beat in 10 games, and like one of the only players left on the team that is on the team still is Dylan Larkin when we beat them.
Mm-hmm.
2, we beat a Maple Leafs team, very good Maple Leafs team. We beat all the other ones were. Oh, we beat a very good Kings team. Besides that, none of them are like that. We played the Sharks. We played. We beat a Kings team.
A win's
twice.
a win, bro.
Yeah, a win's a win. The only game we have lost in January is when me and Caleb went to the game.
It was against the Red Hot Oilers, who had won like 10 games in a row.
True. Good point.
Actually, I don't know if it was 10. I know they were on a win streak, but I don't know how many it was.
Lion is currently he has started 6 of the 7 games. In January, he is 5-1 now. Reimer got the start versus Toronto. Honestly, played good. He got the win. Played good. Larkin has been incredible. I have this before the last game played, which would have been the Panthers game. He did score the OT winner, so he has 5 goals and 2 assists in the last 5 games now. Last 5 games
solid.
Is 5 goals, 2 assists.
That's pretty solid.
But everything else is pretty even between these guys. Like, we've been good. Like, this team is getting red hot, right time. Let's keep winning games. We're 3rd in the division now, baby. There could be a chance at the playoffs.
We're taking leaps, baby.
You know who's not taking leaps? The Pistons.
Stop.
All right.
Max Clark. What? Those are like the Motown Madness cuss words. Pistons and Max Clark.
And Max Clark.
I don't think Pistons should be
No.
That's like our job is to talk with the Pistons.
I don't know. We did go on a Pistons boycott for a little bit there.
We did, and it worked.
It did work. We won.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. Do you have anything on the Red Wings, really? Or
I don't, man. I don't really want to jinx the streak, so let's just keep going.
Dude,
Probably never
let's
going
just
to a
keep
game
going.
ever again. Just kidding. That was so fun. I loved it so much.
You'll see it as
Dude, okay. We got to talk a little bit about our experience.
Tickets are cheap. Yeah, I'm done.
Do we make this a separate video of our experience at Red Wings, or do we talk about it now?
No, we could talk about it quick because there's this kid that we were sitting next to. It's so funny.
I sat next to a kid. I don't know if this was his first hockey game or if he was a big hockey. I mean, he's a big hockey fan. Well, I don't know actually. My man's, he's probably like 8 to 10. My guy was wearing a Connor McDavid jersey. I don't know if it was a jersey or a shirt.
I think it was a jersey. I'm pretty sure it was a Connor McDavid.
A Connor McDavid jersey with a Red Wings hat and a Red Wings foam finger on his hand. I'm like, I spot a bandwagon. Like this. I'm sorry, this 8-year-old kid. I don't know why I'm blaming him right now, but bro, pick a team. Pick a team.
But also, there was this little girl in front of us who was sitting like 2 rows in front of us, right? The Oilers end up scoring the game winner, right? The Oilers score the game winner.
Bro, she like
she
cheers.
Stands up and cheers. She's standing up and cheering every time the Oilers
what are you doing?
She's wearing a Red Wings shirt and a Red Wings
She just
hat.
wanted to go home, bro. My gosh.
No, but it was... Dude, it was just so...
That's life in the 200 levels, baby.
Yeah, that's a crazy experience. Let me tell you, the Red Wings, the burger they got at the Red Wings game,
so fun.
So good. So good.
Oh, it was so gas. It was so fire.
Dude, that burger, I needed it so bad, dude. Then I almost got loaded cheese fries, too. Didn't get them next time, though. Playoff game.
And I got to see Ben's El Riz.
All right, moving on to Lions Bucks.
Lions versus Bucks. So we played the Bucks earlier this year, didn't we? Man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we played the Bucks earlier this year in Week 6. Won the game 20-6. In this game,
Craig
Monty
Reynolds.
Williams. Or not Monty Williams.
Stop, bro. Stop. Oh my, you did not just say that, bro. Oh my gosh.
He's in my nightmare.
We're in shambles, bro. We just lost this game. We just lost the game, bro. You just made us lose this game.
In the previous game this year, Monty and Gibbs were both injured. Brian Branch was injured. Kirby Joseph injured. There was like 7 main dudes out. And we still won the game. Baker 206 yards with 1 interception. Goff 353 yards with 2 touchdowns. We held Godwin and Evans both under 80 yards. Godwin had 77. Evans had 49. St. Brown 12 reception, 124 yards.
That ain't happening again.
That ain't happening again. St. Brown is Godwin and Evans. Probably not. Jamison Williams.
Correct.
This is where he caught the deep touchdown. Beautiful ball. Back shoulder. Oh, it was so nice. So nice.
Just fell into the end zone.
Those late hands, bro. So good. He had 2 receptions, 54 yards with a tutty. Obviously, this Bucks team has changed a lot since then. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. They have found their rhythm. I do think we can take this game again. I've always believed that Baker Mayfield is not as bad as what everybody thinks. I think Baker Mayfield can still make it. I think he's proving it this year. He's still a good quarterback. Honestly, I think the Browns and I was watching a sports podcast one time. They were talking about it. That the Browns coaches deliberately made Baker Mayfield play through an injury so that he would look worse so they could get rid of him. Don't know if that's true, obviously. I'm not Baker Mayfield. I'm not the coach. Obviously, I don't know if that's
Never
true.
know.
But,
yeah.
He's found his stride. But what are your thoughts on this game coming up, Caleb?
I don't have a whole lot. which we talked a lot about it already. Just that, it's a team that's going to be kind of similar to the Rams, where they certainly don't have the quarterback play as the Rams do, but the wide receivers are there, the tight end's there. The defense is probably better, certainly in the middle of the field. Secondary, not so much, but certainly those linebackers are something else. Vita Vea clogs the middle like no other.
He stopped the push twice. Insane.
Yeah. Those linebackers and D-line are probably some of the best in the NFL, and it's going to be tough to. I don't currently know a lot about their rankings and stuff when it comes to like rush versus pass defense, where they rank overall. I know previously they weren't the best on defense at all. They actually were one of the worst in the league of yards given up. But that I think has changed since this winning streak. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's going to be a tough game. Probably another kind of low 20s to teens game, low 20s to high 20s game. But there's also a chance that this Lions team, this offense, this Lions offense, our first 3 drives looked unbelievable. Like, I don't know what happened after in that Rams game for us to only score 3 points. If it's that we started to stall a little bit, started to waste some clock a little bit, could be part of it, and maybe we don't really know how to do that yet. We didn't play well that way. I just think we just go out there and try to score every drive, man. Just do your thing, man. 100%. Unless it comes close to strategizing and whatnot, just go do your thing, Ben Johnson. Yeah. Just go score a touchdown, bro. Your play calling is unreal in the beginning of the game. I trust that we're going to score when we pretty much want to. I don't know if it's that and maybe it's a little sneakier. Maybe that he's trying to save, some plays, some formations from being on film. That could be part of it. Honestly, it could be part of it. In a game where you dominate like that on offense, to kind of sit back and be like, hey, because we moved the ball extremely well that last drive too. Like, I had no doubt that we can move the ball
we did.
Against 100%. Anybody. So yeah, I just think that it's going to come down to us pressuring Baker, making him make mistakes. It's also going to come down to our safeties. Our corners are going to get torched. It's going to happen. They're going to throw the ball deep a lot. It's going to come down to our safeties making plays. You heard it here first. I'm calling Kirby and CJ Gardner-Johnson to get a pick.
I like it. I'm calling it. Aiden Hutchinson, 2 sacks again this game. And James Houston, 1.
1? Okay. I was going to say, how do you think James Houston does, dude? Because here's the thing about James Houston, is he is such a spark plug.
We're going to get 4+ sacks this game. We're getting 4+ sacks. Aiden Hutchinson, 2. James Houston, 1. Aleem McNeil, at least 1. Calling it. Right here, right now. Trust.
So, James Houston is going to have Tristan Wirfs on him. James Houston has been sitting on the sideline all year watching this defense, watching them struggle, watching the whole team succeed. And this is a guy that, like, I'm seriously, like, I'm not even kidding. There's a chance that he just like ends Tristan Wirfs' career, like 4 or 5 sacks. I'm not like, there is a legitimate chance he just goes absolutely stupid. He's been just wanting to play, wanting to get in.
Guy that averaged over 1 sack last year per game. 1 sack per game last year per game. He only played 8 games, 7 games. He had like 9 sacks.
Didn't I say like when that trivia he was like this second or third in sacks per game of all time? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
He's having a big game. I'm calling it. Our defensive line about to show off for the first time this season.
I know we're probably going to limit him, but like he's in there on 3rd and 4th down. Like he's in there.
Yeah.
And man, I'm excited. I'm so excited to watch James Houston. It's unreal.
Oh, dude, I'm so ready. But that's all I think we got for today. Check Lions play Sunday at 3:00, baby. Divisional round. Let's get another one. Red Wings play Saturday. Pistons play tomorrow. Maybe. Pistons play Friday. Red Wings play Saturday.
Pistons.
Either that or Red Wings play Friday. Is it Pistons Saturday, Red Wings Friday?
I think, yes.
Yeah,
I know the Pistons play Saturday.
I know one plays Friday, one plays Saturday.
I know they play 20 and 22nd.
Sunday, but I couldn't remember which one it was.
So I'm guessing the Red Wings play Friday then.
We got Detroit Sports.
Real quick. Let's do this real quick.
Saturday, Sunday.
Real quick. We got 4 playoff games this week. Our playoff bracket is low-key kind of shot.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. Who you got this weekend? Obviously, we're taking Lions. Packers, 49ers. Who do you got?
Packers.
Ben's got the Packers in this game. Hot take, but
No. I'm taking the Niners. Because I have a different upset. Taking the Niners.
Okay. Ben's taking the Texans over the Ravens.
Yep. Give me C.J. Stroud over the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson playoff.
And he's taking the Bills over the Chiefs.
Houston Texans and Bills over the Chiefs.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going Bills over the Chiefs. Lions obviously winning. Sorry, I switched divisions there, or switched conferences there. Bills beat the Chiefs. I think the Ravens take care of the Texans, but it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
I think the Niners take the Packers, and I think the Lions win, man. So we got 2 games different. So we'll see.
No, I honestly think the Packers could beat that 49ers team. I think
so too, dude. I really do.
Yeah, 100%. I think this week could get wild.
Dude, it could happen, and it would make me just absolutely sick.
Dude, no, we'll talk about that if it happens. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about if it happens, man.
But we will see you guys later. We out of here.
Peace. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to never miss another video of ours. Check out our Instagram at motown.madness for daily posts and content all about Detroit sports. And check out our TikTok, motown.madness, for clips and highlights of each episode.